Welcome to the Ask Empowered by Eating show. Welcome to the Ask Empowered by Eating show. This is the first Ask Empowered by Eating show from the new gym. Yep, we have now expanded to an Empowered Fit gym. That's the name of it. You can have a look on social media if you want to. And basically, we've kind of paused a little bit with the Ask Empowered by Eating show because we were so busy setting up this gym that we had to put this on pause for a little while. But from now, what we're going to be doing is it's going to be a bit of a new format. We've got Jordan here doing a video in for him, which is awesome. We're going to give him the honour of the first question in the gym. And basically what we're going to do is press record, do the show, finish it, get it out there, give you the information, give you the evidence-based knowledge that you kind of crave, and of course give you as much value as possible from the Ask Empowered by Eating show. So I'll hand over to Jordan. What is the question that you would like to ask for the first show in the gym?
So, will taking a prolonged break from eating clean set me back a lot?
So will taking a prolonged break from eating clean set me back? So, because I've got the ability to ask you a bit further, what would you class as eating clean? Because obviously sometimes I don't get a chance to ask these questions to the person asking the question.
So just my regular sort of diet related to fitness, just counting the calories,
Okay.
eating.
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about this eating clean thing. We don't really, I don't think we've touched upon it on the Ask Empowered by Eating show yet. So the problem with clean is the idea of eating clean is completely undefined by the whole entire industry. So people will have a different definition of clean. So that's why I asked you. So when you ask somebody, is eating clean? What's eating clean? They'll come off with their story of what eating clean is, because they've learned it from other people, and then somebody else will come off with their story about what eating clean is, because they've got it from other people, and then it gets like broken down to sometimes people just end up with like vegetables and like one meat and things like this, which then puts on top of that a lot of stress and a drain on the willpower. So then you can ask a question, is milk clean? And you go, well yeah, of course milk's clean, but milk comes from a cow, right? So it's clean, but it's processed. So does that mean it's clean? Confused. So the thing is, the whole entire word clean just becomes confusing, and that's the problem with clean. So milk comes from a cow, so it's clean, but it's processed, so it's still clean maybe, don't know. But then milk is in chocolate, so does that mean chocolate's clean? Because then sugar's in chocolate, right? But sugar comes from a plant. Is chocolate clean because it comes from a plant? Really confusing. Now that's the problem with calling something clean. So what do we do about that? You could go around the entire Google and finding out what's supposed to be good for you and what's not, and what you'll be left with is, I call it this like sales funnel. So you'll end up with, you can't eat chocolate because it's got sugar in it, you can't eat this because it's got that in it, you can't eat fat because it's bad for you can't eat this other thing because it's bad for you. So you end up getting like, you can't eat carbs, so that's going to make you fat. You can't eat carbs at night. You can go back to another show to find out about carbs at night, by the way, the number 003 or whatever it was. So you end up coming down, and what you're left with is protein, right? But then the problem is, you can't eat enough protein in a day because you feel like you should have more and more and more, and the whole entire industry markets to as much protein as you can possibly, like buy protein all the way down to nothing. So what you're left with is protein. So you have to buy protein, one of the most profitable forms of food probably in the world, and then the whole entire fitness industry kind of distorts your mind and makes you think you should buy protein powder. So that's kind of the problem with the internet and Google. We kind of went off on a tangent about that. The reason I went off on a tangent is because all of that kind of puts the drain on the willpower, which is what I spoke about earlier on. So then you go on holiday, and the idea was holiday, right?
Yeah, so like a week to 2 weeks.
A week to 2 weeks. So the idea is you've got this eating in a certain way, clean, whatever you want to define it, and then you've got a holiday, so you've got this break between doing one thing and another. So what I could say to you is, why don't you just do the same thing all year round, which is a lot of what we teach you with Empowered by Eating, is looking at tracking your intake, relaxing, not worrying about what is clean and what is not, getting your carbs, your fats, your proteins, and your fibre right, but level 3 and 4. Don't get over like complicated with the different levels. That's why we've got level 1 is just calories. The end of level 2 becomes calories and fibre. Level 3 becomes carbs, fats, proteins and fibre. So if you end up getting a bit overcomplicated, you can become a bit stressed. So first of all, just level 1 stuff, just track your calories. So then what I would do if I went on holiday is I'd use level 4 stuff. It sounds dead complicated for people that have never done it. Level 4 stuff, it's explained dead simply on the videos, is you're going to go on holiday and you're going to use the eyeball method. So you're going to continue doing what you were doing 2 weeks before the holiday, and you're going to do it actually on the holiday. You're going to go away and just still use MyFitnessPal, still track your intake, but forget carbs, forget fibre, forget protein. Well, I don't forget protein if I go because I want to make sure I'm maintaining muscle, but forget the most of the stuff and just look at calories. So then you can put your mojito or your bottle of beer into MyFitnessPal and go, okay, so I'm aiming for, yours might be 2,700 calories or whatever. I'm aiming for 2,700 and okay, I've got about 3,000, that'll do. It's a little bit over, but it doesn't matter. So what we've got there is, over time, this might not happen on your first holiday, but over time you get to the, not this on-off switch that we have. And the on-off switch for people might be Friday afternoon. So Friday afternoon might be their off switch, and Friday afternoon might be the bottle of wine plus the meal out plus the takeaway later on after they've gone out, and that might be their off switch, and that might be where they've consumed 5, 6, 7,000 calories, and that's where they gain the weight if they're gaining weight. And then during the week they have the on switch, which is probably eating too clean. So if you brought that up, bringing down this off switch, you don't have an off and on. So the idea is just balance, which is, it sounds boring, but when you've not got to stress about whether you can or you can't eat foods, you've not got to worry about whether you're going to go on holiday and eat loads and loads of like bad food and like lose all of like, well, you call it progress, right? So you lose a lot of progress. So the idea is just to have this not on and on switch, and that's kind of the main idea of it. And it sounds overly complicated to put it in one short video, hence the reason why we've, in the Asking Power Beating system, we've broke it down really, really simply to take you through a step-by-step way of learning it. So for somebody not doing Power Beating, the takeaway message probably would be to just find balance between not turning off and on what you do. So it's actually alright to just have some foods while you're away. One of my vlogs recently was the Amsterdam vlog. You might want to go and Google that on my own channel. I went to Amsterdam and you can see me eating normal food, you can see me drinking alcohol, and I'm still actually getting ready for a natural bodybuilding competition, which is obviously an extreme sport for manipulation of body fat, and I was still within my calorie goal for that weekend, and nothing that bad happened because I was using the tools within Power Beating. So kind of that's a long-winded answer to it. First of all, turn off the idea of eating clean or not eating clean. It's about balance.